Welcome. My name is Thomas Ledford. I'm here again to talk about 1040X, which is Amended U.S. Individual Income Tax Return, and episode 4 of Tax Talk on the channel of World Tax Preparation. I've been in this industry for the last 18 years, the last 12 as an entrepreneur, and this is my career choice I made years ago. And I have a coaching program for people who are new to this industry, who want to open up their own income tax service, and they understand the fast way, the shortcut way to get that done without trying to figure this stuff out all on your own, or other than trying to join all these different groups and forums and asking all these different mundane questions that need to be asked, but truly not going to help you to get where you're trying to go, because you still have to do your research and due diligence on the information that's given. The value I bring to the marketplace when it comes to coaching and help an individual set up their own income tax service is I guide you streamlined and simple through a process that's going to allow you to get set up in your income tax business on the front end as well as the back end. And as a bonus, I'm giving away free digital educational training and marketing as a part of that demonstration that you'll get as being a client in my coaching program for people who want to make a career in the income tax preparation industry. So if you're interested in open up your own tax service and you want to do your research now and get ahead of the game and you're not quite ready, reach out to me with my contact information inside the description of the video, and I can definitely assist you and walk you through the workflow of what that's going to look like and what that's going to be like for you if you're someone who's just in the research phase of getting started, and what that'll look like for us, your income tax service. And if you're a person who's already got some experience in the industry and you're looking to make a commitment and make a career in the income tax preparation industry for yourself, you're tired of working for other people and their agenda, for businesses who you go to their jobs, you work for them, and they have a agenda all of their own that doesn't necessarily line up with yours. So if you want to be your own boss, if you want to be in charge of your own freedom, your own destiny, your own outcome, your own success, your own failure, the best way to go is to position yourself to be your own boss. And that takes commitment, dedication, training, and just being willing to make some sacrifices in your life that's going to allow you to get to where you're trying to go for you and your family. So in this episode of Tax Talk, we're going to go over the 1040X overview. You know, we're not going to do any in-depth information on any of these videos. They weren't designed and geared for that. These videos that I create are designed to help some students that I'm working with already who have their own tax service, who are part of my coaching program. This is who these videos are really intended for. So they come here to my channel and they check them out at their leisure to help them to get the knowledge and the confidence they need to help them to go out there and grow their income tax services. So these videos were originally created for them. And so I realized that the bigger picture is to be able to help more people by getting more exposure for the coaching business I already have, is to leverage YouTube and video marketing in a way of getting that done. So getting started, the 1040X stands for, or the title is, Amended U.S. Individual Income Tax Returns. And so every so often the IRS updates and make changes to the forms just because that's what happens in life. Changes take place. So on this particular form, they have got it situated at top where you can check mark if it's for 15, 16, 17, or 18. You know, so that's something new. Then when you look at the first portion of it, it's the individual personal informational section, your name, last name, your social, you know, so the standard setup for filling out the personal information section, you would come here and fill it out like you did. It basically should match whatever your original tax return had on it, as far as name and social security number and address and all of that. And then you're going to go to the next section and pick what filing status that you used on the original return. And if you're looking to switch your filing status, then you'll make the appropriate switches and give an explanation on why. And then they have the full year health care coverage that you can click the button on for the people who should have health coverage all year round for them and their dependents or their children. That is the thing you would check for that situation on this form right here. The next section deals with income and deductions. And so in the first column, it deals with the original information that was submitted. The thing about doing amended returns and the challenge that you can face by doing amended returns, if you do an amended return from a client who wasn't your original client, but came to you via a referral because they weren't happy with the results they got from the client, the person they had to do the original return, and so as a referral, they came and hold of your information and came to you and talked to you about the situation they had. The thing is about the original return is you must be able to duplicate the error if it was an error made, or duplicate the original return regardless if it was an error made or not, in order to correct it. So that's how that works. So if you got a client who went somewhere else and they come to you because later on they got a letter from the IRS and they had some issues with the original tax return, and the person who did it, either A, they reached out to and they couldn't help them with it, or B, they were so deterred from even reaching back out to them that they sought other counsel when it comes to getting the situation taken care of. So that's the main thing about the amended return. You must duplicate the original return regardless of its flaws or faults or mistakes that was already in it. It doesn't matter. You got to duplicate that. So the thing with that is you must have all the information from the taxpayer that they gave to the original person to take and put on the return to make it look just like it looked when they originally got it. So if they come in with a copy of their tax return, then you got to make it look just like that same original copy, regardless if it's a mistake in it or not. And then once you've made it look like the original return, then you fix whatever the situation is. So for example, say if you had someone who had an issue where the money was transposed and it wasn't correctly put in, and now they got more money back than they should have, and then it results in them getting a letter, say the following year, saying, we noticed after reviewing your return that some numbers were transposed and we gave you more of a tax refund than you had coming, and now we want to rectify that by sending you adjustment to that, which is going to result in you sending us a portion of your refund back. And so now in that situation, you don't necessarily need someone to do amended return, because the IRS has basically caught the mistake and told you, hey, this is the outcome of it. This is the balance due because you got money that you shouldn't have got because the numbers were transposed and made to be more than what it really was, which benefited you with a higher refund. So you got a false positive situation where you was going to get a refund anyway, but you got more than you should have gotten because the person who prepared them made the mistake. They didn't catch it in time. They processed it. You didn't catch it. It got sent. You got the check. You spent it. You had a good time, and life goes on. So that's one of the scenarios when it comes to the 1040X. It's all about taking the original return and being able to duplicate it just as it is, and then saying where we go from here. What's the objective of coming in? And if you have a client who's coming in because, hey, maybe they forgot to add some income because they forgot they had it and it came in after they filed, and then they want to add it on to the return because it may result in a higher refund amount than they originally got because they didn't have it in the first place. Then in that situation, yeah, you get the W-2s or whatever source of income it was, and you add it to the original return. But the key is, like I say, is you must be able to duplicate the original return first, save that inside your system, and add the additional income and fill out the 1040X in the right way to get the results you need to see it calculate. So if it calculates and you find out you get an extra $1,500 as a result of that, then you have to sign off on that. He signs off on that and mail it in. The IRS will get it and process it, and you'll get additional $1,500 in the mail whenever they get to process it and doing the things they need to do on their end. So that's another scenario of how the 1040/amended U.S. individual income tax form works. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the original return, and a lot of times we're trying to fix a issue with the return by putting some on it or taking some off or making an adjustment in some way to the original tax return. And this is the way we do it with the 1040X. But based on the overall situation, sometimes doing an amended return is not even needed in certain circumstances. So to go pay someone under certain circumstances to do an amended return, which is not going to result in you paying lesser of a balance, if that's tend to be the case, then it's not worth even doing one in certain situations. And I'll give you one example. Say, for instance, that, like I said, you filed your taxes, say, for 4 or 5 years in a row, and for some reason you worked a job each of those years that was not significant to you, and you just didn't remember it, and you got a W-2 each time after the fact, and you just threw the W-2 off in the corner and didn't really worry about it. And say in the 6th year, the IRS noticed that you left off additional income each year as a result of that, which resulted in you owing the IRS money because your income tax return wasn't accurately completely done because income was left off. And so when they catch that and make the adjustment and send you the bill, then there's no need to pay someone to do a amended return in that type of situation, because the situation is that income was left out, which made the tax return incomplete and inaccurate in the first place. So you got money based on the inaccurate return, and then as a result of them catching it down the road later, it resulted in you owing money back because they gave you an overpayment of money that you should have got due to the fact you had a tax return that was not accurately prepared and completed due to left out income. And so that's another scenario when it comes to using this form and not needing to pay someone in that type of situation, because it's not going to result in your favor no way. So you take the hit, you pay the balance, and you keep on living. You know, so in this form, like I say, the first column is for the original. And then, like I say, they must duplicate the original return, regardless of the errors it may have in it or not, in order to fix it properly and correctly and get it to do what it need to do, and take it and just mail it off and let the IRS do what they need to do on their end. As I scroll down, this 1040X basically models the 1040 tax return, you know. And so when you look at this form, it covers all the sections of the tax return that you may have to deal with when it comes to doing an amended return, and it allows you to deal with what situation that you have to deal with as a result of doing an amended return. You know, so this is just another version of the 1040 return that we're looking at. And so basically, when you get down here to 19 and 20, based on the situation, you're either going to owe money or you're going to get additional money back based on the overall situation of why you doing an amended return in the first place. And then down on back here, it has explanation of changes. So you basically going to explain why you're making these changes to the original tax return, because they want to know that. You know, and so if you did this yourself, then you simply sign it and date it and put your occupation. And if you took it to a paid preparer who you paid some money to get this done, then their information should be right under yours. Their signature, the date, the firm name, and so and so, so and so, so and so. So that information for paid prepared use only should be filled out if a person was paid to do the return, regardless of their title or their situation. You know what I'm saying? They could be a bus driver from Oklahoma. It don't matter. If you paid them to do the return, they should be signing it. It's real simple. No way around that. And so in this video, we simply glossed over the 1040X, which is U.S. individual income tax return amended. And this form is designed for people who need to make adjustments to their original return. And in certain situations, the amended return is appropriate for that. And then in other situations, you don't need to really do one, because if it doesn't change the outcome in your favor financially, then what's the point? Because you end up paying someone to do amended return, which is not going to benefit you and change the outcome in your favor. Then there's no point of paying additional money. You know, so just realize that and understand that. So episode 5 is coming up soon. Like I say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Inside the description area, I'm gonna leave you a link to a course that I'm leveraging that's helping me to get more exposure for my tax service and coaching business by learning how to leverage the internet by using YouTube as a way of getting that done. And so if you're interested in learning how to leverage the internet in general and maximize it by using the most powerful medium in existence, which is video, and icing on the cake, YouTube video, to be exact, along with the fact that YouTube is a search engine, so people are here searching for things. And so that's how a lot of my videos are being seen, because especially during this time of season, people are searching for what I had to offer when it comes to the income tax preparation industry. And so if you're looking to leverage your existing business or upcoming business, you want to get started and you want to get the heads up on how to leverage YouTube and learn how to do it effectively and correctly, my mentoring coach has her own course, her own platform, and one of them just had to be YouTube Marketing Goldmine. And so I'm going to leave you a link in the description area that's going to take you to the platform that's going to allow you to create a free account. And, you know, any questions or concerns you may have, reach out to me and I'll be glad to assist you. And I'll see you in my next video.